So let's give it up for Marichka.
I think we did.
How many people does it take to put a mic in? 3.
Yeah. And I hope you'll hear me good. Well, I hope so. Okay, hello. We're going to start our presentation. It's very intimidating, especially after the first speaker. You did really great. So I hope you're going to be as welcoming for me as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We'll be landing shortly at Toronto Pearson International Airport in Toronto, Canada. The weather on the ground is quite pleasant, with warm sunshine and lovely weather. We hope you've enjoyed the flight with us today. When I landed in Toronto in May 2022, I had no idea where I'm gonna live. I didn't know what's gonna happen to me next, and I'm being that serious about it. Sure, I knew that Canada would be way different from Ukraine, where I'm from, but somehow I was too naive to believe that it's going to be the same rules. Touching down in Toronto, I had no clue, like I said, where I'm going to stay. I figured I'm going to sort it out once I got here. Oh boy, was I wrong. Turns out you cannot just rent an apartment in one day. Why? In Ukraine, you can rent an apartment in one day, that's it, and then you leave. And here it was different. The first 3 days in Canada were crucial, as I had to choose the path of what I was going to do here, whether I was going to be a fighter or a crybaby. Don't get me wrong, crying is essential because it serves as a natural emotional release, and it's important to recognize that men are also allowed to cry. Maybe when no one sees. Yeah. So for those 3 days, I stayed in a hotel, and all I did was cry, didn't eat, and didn't sleep. I was completely terrified, feeling like I was all alone in this world. I figured I'm not going to figure out what to do in this country, and I feared that I'm not going to be able to go back to Ukraine one day. But going back was not an option at that point, so I chose to gather myself and figure out my life here while I'm in Canada. My story in Canada began just 2 years ago. In May, I landed in Toronto, and I feel incredibly honored standing here in front of all of you today and sharing my story. It feels like reflection celebration for me to see how far I've come. So thank you for coming today. Fast forward to the happy ending, so you don't feel like it's a sad story. I'm gonna cry, you don't need tissues, it's okay. Here is a picture of me and my business partner congratulating our marketing client on her milestone, opening of the shop in the heart of Ottawa's Byward Market. Little did I know when I landed that redesigning my life in a different country can be both challenging and incredibly rewarding. Still, let's go back. You still might be wondering why this girl came to Canada without even knowing what to do here or without doing any research on the country. So back in 2021, when I was in university, I applied to be a research assistant at Brock University, St. Catharines. I was thrilled to hear that I got in. Spending summer in Canada, engaging in interesting research, maybe traveling a little, it all sounded great. But in February 2022, my life has changed completely. Around 4 a.m., I'm gonna drink some water. I know there is a lot of Ukrainians might be in the room, so I don't want to bring any flashbacks, so I choose those screenshots. But if you've read the news, you probably all know what's gonna happen that day. So I woke up to the sound of explosions and announcements that Russia has launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. I consider myself a very persistent person. I come from a family of 4 with 2 older brothers. All of us are driven to succeed. and 4 kids in a family. You don't have a choice but to be persistent. And yes, there's a lot of pictures on the slide. I just couldn't pick one, as my brothers are still in Ukraine with my family, my parents, and I miss them a lot. But my sister Sofia, she is here in the room with me, and she came a little bit later on my journey. I wanted her to have a great education, so she goes to high school. She's excited, it's all like in the movies, and I'm her legal guardian, and I'm happy that she supports me on my journey, and I'm happy to support her as well, but honestly, sometimes I do not know how to support a teenager. Do I let her go to that party or not? Do I ask the numbers of the guy she wants to go on a date, or like, am I being a sister or mom? I do not know. Well, but it's another part of me being resilient in Canada. So having supportive siblings who always encouraged me gave me the determination to keep going, even when things got tough. But when it comes to resilience, I've come to believe it's something a human learns along the way. So that morning in February, none of us knew what to do. It's not something you can be prepared for, but maybe that was the day when we understood the importance of being resilient in this world. So the war was escalating. I was still in Ukraine. I was adjusting to a new reality in my country, living in uncertainty and just going through life one day at a time. My parents and some of my friends, they were pushing me, not suggesting, that I consider that research opportunity in Canada. Come to Canada for 3 months, save some money, and then return to Ukraine. And as you could figure, that's what I did. It was a very hard decision, as I didn't want to leave my family and everything I knew, even though it was only for 3 months. However, I packed my backpack with summer clothes and laptop and started my journey to Canada to be a summer research assistant. I was so excited. 1 second. You can also sip when I sip. It's going to be like we're cheering together. When I finished my research, I found myself at a crossroads. With the war escalating in Ukraine, I felt uncertain about my next steps. I realized that staying in Canada a bit longer could provide me with an opportunity to support myself, my family, my country. But staying in St. Catharines was not an option for me, so I made the decision to relocate to a city with better job opportunities. Guess where? You're right, Ottawa! Yes. Ottawa, you might be wondering why. Well, I've heard before that Ottawa is a boring government city, but my best friend from Ukraine, she moved to Ottawa. So for me, building my life in Toronto, Montreal, Halifax, Ottawa, it's no difference, right? But I knew that having my friend in a new city will definitely make a difference for me. So, Ottawa, thank you for welcoming me. When I moved to Ottawa, I was actively searching for a job in marketing and PR, as my professional background is in that field. In Ukraine, I worked as a marketing and PR manager for the aviation festival. Those are the pictures from the festivals. I knew I might not get the same high-level job right away in Canada, but I really wanted to work in my field. But every time I applied for a job, it felt like they were all saying the same thing. Sorry, but you don't have Canadian experience and we're not going to help you find one. And or they wouldn't even reply to my emails, right? Because it feels like a part of culture here. So I found a job in marketing, yay, working for the hotel. Well, it wasn't exactly marketing. I took those pictures for my future success story. I only lasted there 3 weeks, as I finally figured they're not gonna move me to a marketing department. It's not happening. And I'm not sharing the name of the place where I work because it's not about them. It's about me knowing what I want to do. Because if it doesn't feel like the right fit, you can't make it fit. So I was working and trying to find a new job. The job search was driving me crazy, as I knew that my skills are transferable. That is the beauty of this field, as you can do amazing things no matter where you are in the world, if you have the laptop probably. Although in my world no means next opportunity, it was still very discouraging to receive all those emails, at least to receive them. And my friend, the one that I came to Ottawa to be with, was going through the same job search struggles. So one day, as we talked about our job hunt frustrations, we realized that both of us were thinking about the same thing, starting our own agency. It was something like I was thinking about opening one, and she was thinking about opening one as well, so why not to open it together? It's going to be way more fun. And we decided to create our own marketing jobs in Canada. Before we even realized it, we spent the whole day at a coffee shop in Manitic. It's very random, we just picked that coffee shop, it was really far. We were planning how our agency would work, what we would do if we fight, because it's okay for friends to fight as well, and who would be responsible for what. And that's how our call agency was created. The lesson here, it's important to share your thoughts, goals, ideas, because you might find awesome partners for your projects. Starting a business in a new country while only being there for a couple of months was a very brave decision. Honestly, I'm not sure if I would do it now. Thank God we started it then, Jane. Both of us know how to do marketing very well, but knowing how to operate the business is a completely different story, especially in a different country. For you to understand the scale of us not knowing what's going on here, well, what in the world is a bounce check? Why? Why this scheme still exists? We were so frustrated. It's very cruel. In the beginning, we were putting ourselves out there to meet other entrepreneurs in Ottawa to learn more about those bounce check and ask for the advice, and learn more about the business community here in Ottawa. We were going to at least 5 networking events per week. And that's how we found our first clients and signed our first contracts. You might be wondering how we found those events, like 5 events in Ottawa in a week. Please ask my business partner, as she was doing all that research and she's in the room, so you can ask me more. I had no idea. I was just coming to the event and learning and meeting new people. We were working a lot, and we still do. We had a lot of ups and downs, but I'm very happy we decided to go down that path. As long as it's fun for us and we can earn from it, why not to keep working? So we're gonna all sip together to this. At the agency, we work with small businesses because we believe that high-quality marketing should be accessible. My personal egoistic goal is to start a chain reaction in Ottawa. Let me explain in very easy words. Imagine you're on Bank Street and there are a couple of coffee shops, a restaurant, and one coffee shop is doing something like crazy with their social media. There is a very high chance that another coffee shops should start doing something more than they are doing just to keep up with the game, right? And then one day, boom, Ottawa is cool, innovative, and everyone wants to move here. This will happen, I'm telling you. You'll remember this speech. So while in the process of establishing our agency, I received an offer for a full-time position at the Ukrainian Canadian Congress. It's one of the largest ethnocultural community organizations in Canada. And I decided to accept that role as the values and the mission of the organization resonated very well with me, and also because like both of us were working for the agency, we can only like one person can work for the agency while another have full-time job. So I was the one who had the full-time job. And also I saw this opportunity as a chance to apply my marketing and communication skills in a meaningful way to support Ukraine. I got to do a lot of great projects with a supportive organization, connect with remarkable individuals, and truly integrate into the Ukrainian Canadian community. It's been a great experience, and I'm still working there. And today I wanted to tell you about one project that Ukraine related that happened before I started working at the Congress. And this is a great example of how being creative can help support important causes. So during my first Halloween in Canada, I struggled with the contrast between the festivities and the ongoing war in Ukraine. I wanted to talk about it without ruining the holiday mood for people here in Canada, without sounding judgmental or just making people feel bad. So I teamed up with my roommate, who is a talented designer. Together we brainstormed ways to bring awareness to Ottawa and later crafted the posters. And we connected them to the Halloween theme with the war in Ukraine. Later, we put those posters up around the city and shared them on Instagram, hoping to spark some attention. You should have seen our faces next morning. We saw thousands of likes and reposts. You can see it back here, how many likes and reposts. And what's even more, our initiative inspired a chain reaction with friends and people around the world posting our posters in their own cities. And that was, like I said, lesson for me that even small actions can have a big impact, especially when coupled with creativity and compelling message. At first, I believed that creativity and creative people do not exist in Ottawa. I didn't know about ODC before. I see a lot of creators here in the room, but I was determined to find them. And when I saw the job offer for creative crew member, I applied without any hesitation. Working with SOFAR helped me feel connected to the creatives in Ottawa. I found a lot of photographers, videographers, artists. I was working as a host for a show. It was a bit scary. Probably every show I was starting with, "Hello, my name is Mariia. I'm Ukrainian. I just moved here. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, pretend like you understand, ask your neighbor and smile to me." Literally every show. But sometimes you just have to put yourself out there, conquer your insecurities, don't overthink it, and just do amazing things that will come your way. That is also how I discovered the Ottawa Design Club. And I was like, wait, what? Design Club in Ottawa? Am I in heaven? So I was real happy. And if you want to learn more about SOFAR, we were actually featured in this beautiful journal. I believe you can buy them over there in the back, so please find them. We are on the page 149. I came to the first event, as they say, the magic happened. There is one quote that has stuck with me for more than a year now, as it resonated so much, and I wanted to share it with you here today. Has been my motto for probably the last year. Oh, hey, thank you for that quote. So if you're going through hell, guys, keep going. Why would you stop? I was very impressed with the quote. Thank you. I was like waking up thinking about it. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. This day is going to be better than something. Let's go. So where am I now? I work full-time at the Congress and part-time at the agency. Meanwhile, my friend Jane works full-time at the agency. Currently at the agency, our approach is to chase less and attract more. Through different activities like photo days, one is coming up soon, so check our website, and marketing lectures or just different events that we can think of. We're not only having fun, but also trying to create win-win situation both for ourselves and for our clients. And I hope that the day when I will work full-time for the agency comes soon, but for now, I'm staying at the Congress and continuing to work for the Ukrainian community. I'm gonna sip. So, no matter what, we all face difficulties. And they're gonna be different scale, but those are difficulties that you face personally. And what really matters is how we handle them. It's about being strong and bouncing back when things get tough. It will always be hard. It is hard to leave and it is hard to stay. It is hard to start a business and it is hard to dream about opening one. So choose your heart. And I want to leave you with some tips that have been working well for me. So focus on solutions. Don't go down that rabbit hole. Look at the problem as an opportunity and focus on finding the solution. Seek support. Don't hesitate to reach out to friends, family, or professionals, or you have time to network today, so reach out to some people if you're looking for some inspiration. It is very, very likely that someone has already faced a similar issue like yours and found a way through it. So don't be afraid to talk about your problems that you might be going through. Practice self-care. Take care of your physical and mental well-being through activities you enjoy. I've been really into yoga lately and taken such a good care of myself, but you can hear a little bit from my voice that I also should prioritize this tip for myself for this month as well. Celebrate your progress. Take the time to acknowledge and celebrate your successes, no matter how small they may seem to you. Each step forward helps you reflect and appreciate your journey. I'm celebrating my journey with you today. And stay persistent. Oh my, honestly, this is my favorite one. I do not know why, but in Canada there is a lot of no, a lot of call us later, a lot of we're busy now. And you need to understand that sometimes they're saying this to you just because they can be busy or something came up or they're just in a bad mood. So don't let it discourage you, because there is always a way, literally always a way to find a solution or to find something you were looking for. So keep pushing forward with determination and resilience. Hello again, this is your captain speaking. Thank you for flying with us today. We hope you have enjoyed your flight. On behalf of the entire crew, we wish you a pleasant stay. Дуже вам дякую за підтримку і слава Україні!